Check the mic and make sure it sound right.
Hi, I'm DKWILL, and this is DK. We'll talk about it.
Take two. I just did an entire video. It was perfect. I had a train going by in the end of it, and I have to do it over again because I closed the app on and shouldn't have closed the app. But nonetheless, how you doing? We're going to do another article regarding the Swift developments because now things are confirmed. This article by Maxwell and Mutuma was from September 5th of 2025. That's Friday. Today's Monday, the 8th. So in the prior video, we mentioned how Swift was trial running XRP, and we've done other videos in that regard. Now it's no longer a trial, it is a confirmation. And this article says Swift to enable XRP use and payments, steers clear of issuing assets. Swift confirms it will support XRP and other digital assets in its payment system, focusing on facilitation, not competition. Yeah, I'm doing this video outside, folks. I mentioned before that I have some internet connection issues, but see, I can come to this place here. It's called Frost, and it's in the quaint downtown of Lee Summit, Missouri. I buy a $5 hot chocolate, and then I can actually use their internet to get this video loaded up. So bear with me while we deal with all the potential interruptions that could occur from filming outside. I'm sure the lighting isn't right, but that's okay too. If you can't see me, you can still hear me, right? Let's get it on. Swift has confirmed it will not issue its own digital asset and will focus on supporting existing cryptocurrencies like XRP. Now, keep in mind, it says like XRP. And in a prior video, I had XRP and Hedera. Was another one that was being trialed by Swift. So there's another option too for your investments, Hedera. But who else is the most like XRP? Well, that's XLM, Stellar, Lumens. And I'm sure I have videos from way back when, 4 years ago, that were highlighting that the exact coins now that are taking hold are the exact same coins I was recommending to my viewers back then. And so if you listened back then, you'd be in a position where you didn't pay $2 and $3 per XRP to have XRP, which limited how many you could have. No, you were paying when it was 14 cents, 15 cents, 25 cents, 33 cents, even 50, 60, and 70 cents. I put the call out to buy XRP because now it's having a run. We'll take a look at that in a minute.
And if you like the content I'm providing, please make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications, and then come back for more DK Will Talk About It.
The network will provide infrastructure for digital assets without competing with them or dictating which assets to use. So now becomes, how much do you know about what you're invested in?
Huh?
What's the functionality of the payment coin that you're invested in? How easy is it for it to be implemented into the new monetary system? And is it ISO 20022 compliant?
Huh?
It better be. AMP. AMP will move any value with any app, anywhere, at any time, and it doesn't even require a change to the hardware of the merchants that use it. Now, you keep that in mind when you're looking at Swift's Global Payment Innovation GPI service. Will allow integration of digital assets like XRP for cross-border payments. So now we're integrating XRP's cross-border capabilities, although XRP is designed for institutions and banks, and it's put its own application in for a bank. But we're integrating that type of ability with Swift's Global Payment Innovation Service, and look at the potential mushroom cloud that's about to occur in this market. So if you're in the crypto market and you put some stock into the decentralized finance coins, you made a good decision. And guess what? If you were listening to DK Will, you made a good decision. Swift's decision to avoid issuing its own asset ensures compatibility with cryptocurrencies, enhancing flexibility for banks. This is DK. We'll talk about it. So I'll read about it, but I won't talk about it. So get over it. That's what you're here for, right? Please like and subscribe. By supporting assets like XRP, Swift positioned itself as a facilitator rather than a competitor in the digital asset space. So they found their niche market where they can stay alive, because without doing so, they were going to get pushed out of the way. But keep in mind that it's going to allow integration of digital assets like XRP. I can't stress enough, like XRP. Who's a lot like XRP? I already said it, didn't I? Stellar Lumens. Very much a lot like XRP. SWIFT has made a clear statement that it will not issue its own digital assets. Instead, the institution confirmed its support. Let me say that again. The institution confirmed its support for digital assets like XRP within its payment infrastructure. Folks, this is huge. So the talk about the 1%, the 1.5 trillion is a given. It's going to occur. Brad Garlinghouse's slightly enumerated forecast that we've seen in the past, where he said probably 14% of SWIFT volume in the next 5 years, it's going to be faster than 5 years. And it's going to be more than 14%. And I did a video back then too, and I'll put the cards up here so that I can direct your attention to them. Just look for them, click on them, and go watch them, or save them for later. Well, around the same time he was making that 14% promise, 15% of the volume from SWIFT disappeared. Where do you think that 15% went? That volume that disappeared? Well, there are things in the geopolitical world scene that might have slowed down the transfers of money. 15% is a huge portion of $150 trillion moved per year, right? Was some of it trial running XRP? Something to think about, isn't it? It says SWIFT supports XRP in payment integration. SWIFT clarified its position, emphasizing, keep in mind the language being used, emphasize that it will not create digital currencies like Ripple's XRP. The company underlined its role as a provider of the network infrastructure, which better be ISO 20022 compliant, and that didn't happen overnight, folks. Offering services that support various financial instruments. It stated that its main objective is not to compete, but to allow their integration into the global payment system. Excuse me. Smoke, of course, said some things on the X platform. Let's go down here. XRP can integrate with traditional systems. So can AMP. SWIFT's decision reflects its strategy to support flexibility for its member banks. It does not dictate the type of assets they must use, but provides the infrastructure to integrate any asset, including XRP. This position enables banks to make their own decisions on whether to use digital assets for settlement. If you don't use digital assets for settlement in the coming future monetary system, you're not going to be using the future monetary system. It's as simple as that. You're going to play by that game, or you're not going to play. You're not going to be in the playground. That's just how it's going to work. The network's flexibility makes it possible for assets like XRP to find a role in the traditional financial system. I did make that point in a prior video. What they've been doing, if they've been trying to conform the new obvious direction of decentralized finance and cryptocurrencies, and they're trying to make it mold and mesh with the traditional financial system. That's the reason they came out with exchange traded products, and first they started with futures. They started with futures instead of spot, because with spot you have to own the asset. They're a little antsy, what's the word I'm looking? They have trepidation, we'll say. And so by doing it with the futures contracts, where they're tracking the movement instead of actually owning the asset, they relieve themselves of the potential liability that goes with the asset failing. Now there's no good reason not to think that the asset will succeed, especially when SWIFT has said and confirmed that they're going to be using it. So what we're going to see now is the influx of traditional institutions and banks that are going to become more and more comfortable, more and more familiar with, more and more aggressive, more and more greedy and getting on board with this new system, because this is the way it's going. There's no stopping it. It's going in this direction. Swift's XRP, designed to enhance the efficiency of global settlements, can thus work seamlessly with Swift's framework. By not issuing its own assets, Swift avoids direct competition with cryptocurrencies like XRP. Instead, the company positions itself as a platform that supports the integration of digital assets. This is a very significant development, folks. And I'm glad you're here. Make sure you like and you subscribe. But it has been confirmed now that Swift is going to be using XRP and cryptocurrencies like XRP. Please make sure you look up in the right-hand corner as cards show up recommending some of the videos I've done in the past that will show to you that here at DK We'll Talk About It, we've been recommending our viewers to take advantage of certain type of opportunities in the cryptocurrency markets years ago that now are proving to be extremely lucrative if you listen. For instance, AMP, less than a penny. At this point, if you believe that, you can have a million amp, and it would not have cost you an exorbitant amount of money. The same goes with XRP. If you listened years ago when it was 20 cents and you got 5 for the dollar, instead of now it takes several dollars to get one, you would have had more. But here's the good part about it. It's not too late. It's not too late, but it's like rushing to get on a train when the doors are closing. But see, this train is already moving and the doors are closing. This train is going to conform into a space shuttle. And at that point, unless you're Superman and you can fly, you ain't getting on it. I'm DK Will. This is DK Will Talk About It. And I've talked about it. Have a wonderful day.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right.